Is a really good receiver, as I'm sure you all know, and he is a favorite red zone target of the Commanders this year. He's a tough guy to cover, good hands, good size, knows how to body up people and get himself between the ball and the defender. So it will be a tough assignment with him.
How about as far as tight ends go in general?
I just think it's kind of worked out that way.
Vic mentioned the 100-hour work week that you guys will normally put in, and now you got to sort of collapse it into 3 real working days. Do you have to, for lack of a better term, dumb down things, like simplify things in terms of your game plan when a week is so short like this one?
Yes and no, but you try and do everything from a preparation standpoint, both as coaches and coaches preparing the players, and do everything you would do in a normal week. You just don't get the practice reps. You walk through, you got to visualize on the video, but other than that, you try and do everything that you normally do.
You specifically instituted, you and Nick, in practice, that you've seen a direct result in the improved tackling over the last month.
Yeah, we've emphasized it in practice, which is always good. I had an old coach when I first started in pro ball that said, if you emphasize something, you got a chance to get it. So that's what happened there. And plus, we've played better overall. And, the ball hadn't been in the open field as much.
What was your biggest concern when you decided to go young in the secondary and just and when you do that, do you worry about your veteran players that are being replaced, how they're going to handle it?
Not really. I mean, you do what you think you have to do to improve the team.
Who said that to you, emphasize?
What's
You
that?
said somebody told you if you emphasize it, you got a chance to get it. Who told you that?
Oh, guy by the name of Jim Mora.
Alex Hunt, what has he done to earn more playing time?
Who?
Alex Hunt.
Yeah, he's done better in practice, and it's kind of a result too of Bryce. He's got a big cast on his hand. Leaves his thumb totally immobilized, and he's got his palm is immobilized. So he's just got 4 fingers dangling there with no thumb or palm to help him. So, on the less obvious downs, just makes sense to put a guy in there that's 100%.
Why has he needed a cast?
He's got something wrong with his wrist.
Vic, you have so many new pieces in this secondary. What's gone into them playing so well as a unit?
I think the secondary coaches, Joe and Christian and Roy are doing a good job with them. I think those guys in and of themselves have done a good job of focusing and learning, and they're eager and willing. And I just think we've played better overall across the board.
Jayden Daniels only had 5 rushing yards in this last game. What did Pittsburgh do well that maybe could be instructive?
Yeah, they rushed a lot of guys. When I say a lot, they rushed 5 a good bit or 4. And Pittsburgh's pretty good. You got Watt and Highsmith on the outside. They're good guys. Hayward's still on the inside, and they're a good defense.
What do you make of Jayden Daniels and the 10 games getting a chance to see him? How much did that help?
He's done a great job for them. I mean, kudos to him for what he's been able to achieve. Kudos to the coaches there that are coaching him, because that's not an easy offense to run. They do a lot of different things. And, he's only thrown 2 interceptions, which is, unreal, really. So he's done a great job.
Piggybacking off of that, why has he had so much? We've seen so many rookie quarterbacks have issues when they first get in this thing. Why do you think he's bucked the trend and had success early, just by looking at tape?
He's a really good player, highly talented. I think they're running an offense that he's very comfortable in, and he's got a lot of good players around him. And I think it's an accumulation of all that.
When you look at Quignon's season so far, obviously he's been really good. Are there certain areas, though, that you think he can get better, and what are they?
Yeah, just getting better at everything a little bit. I don't think he's shown a gross weakness somewhere that needs a fast and urgent repair. But he can get better at a lot of things, but incrementally.
What has pleased you the most about the way Jalen Carter is performing?
Yeah, he's gotten better and better every week, which to me is a good thing. He's playing better with his hands, using his hands and being a better technician, and that's translating into good play because of his talent.
You mentioned the offense with Washington. Cliff had Kyler Murray before, so some dual threat ability there. Have you seen a lot of change with Jayden Daniels, with what he used to do?
With who used to do?
Cliff Kingsbury.
No, you know, he's had these types of guys before, like you say. He's had such early success.
How much of, you mentioned Jim Moore, how much of that has influenced the way you coached from him?
Well, a lot, you know, a lot. You know, Jim is to me, you know, one of the most underrated great coaches in the league because just never did much in the playoffs, never quite had the overall team to go far, but damn good coach and guy that I always looked up to.
Getting back to Quinion, it seems like, you know, when he's gone against like Jamar Chase and Malik Neighbors, like they haven't thrown in his direction that much. A, why do you think that is? And B, do you think that might change with Terry McLaurin, who typically lines up on his side?
Well, sometimes with those players you mentioned, we were given extra attention there too. So that was part of it.
You worried all about
Vaughn's playing at the level he's playing at?
What's the start of your question?
I'm sorry, what does it do for the defense when you get linebacker play with in the way Zach Vaughn is playing it?
Well, I think I said in here a while back, it's hard to play good defense in the NFL without good linebacker play. And that is 100% true, and those two guys are playing good.
asking about the veteran secondary guys again. Has Avante really handled what happened to him very well? Because those guys, Quinion earlier on in camp talked about how much he was helping him play the slot. And
he has, you know, he's a great teammate for everyone, good pro, and he's ready to go if needed.
In the QB+1 game, which you're probably going to see a lot more, maybe the
QB1 plus?
the fact that the zone read stuff that they do with Jayden.
Oh.
Yeah, and you guys haven't really seen a lot of that this season. You know, what are the keys for the defenders that are unblocked or for you guys?
Yeah, we got to be assignment sound. Make sure we always have a guy available to play that quarterback if he pulls it. He'll pull it sometimes with blockers. He'll pull it sometimes with, you know, just himself there if you overplay the run. You got to be assignment sound.
Vaughn gives you a lot of credit for helping him become the player that he is this year. What is it that you saw in him that gave you the belief in him?
I don't know. It's when I evaluate players, there's no checkbox, things you check off. You just watch the tape, watch the movement patterns, watch the player play. And, Howie brought him up to me first, but he had a vision for him as a backup outside linebacker, special teams demon. And after I watched it, I said, no, I think he's an inside linebacker. And luckily, it hit.
What made you think that?
Just watching him play and watching his movement patterns.
All right.
Thank you.